Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Boop and I've been dealing with a lot of burnout recently. Burnout from my job, burnout from my hobbies, burnout from things I really love. I've been having trouble enjoying my little moments. The reason? I've fallen into what I call the algorithm pit. The algorithm pit is something I've come up with that explains the never ending cycle of wanting to create content and get likes, chasing likes, and doing whatever you can to be the next big thing. So instead of making things that you want to be proud of and that you want to create, you're stuck in this never ending cycle of creating things for other people that's not fulfilling for your own desires. So, to combat this burnout and climb out of this algorithm pit, I decided to do the one thing that no one ever thinks to do, and that is create for myself. So, to accomplish this task, I need to find out my why I want to create, why I want to share my creativity, and why I'm proud of my creativity. I want to break these three questions down into three words that describe my overall vibe for the answers. For the first question, why I want to create, I've gone with the word curious. I've always been curious about everything, from learning how to write to learning how to draw to learning how to play the flute. I've always wanted to learn how to do things in a creative sphere. I want to learn every little detail of how everything that I can, especially when I'm trying to be creative. So, to put it all into one sentence, I want to create because I want to learn new ways on how to express my creativity. So, I'm curious. The second question is why I want to share my creativity. And the word I've chosen for this is pride. When I share the things that I've created with other people, I feel a sense of pride in myself and pride in my creativity. No one else can create the things that I can, and I feel very happy that I can share that with other people and make them feel a type of way that they haven't felt before. The more I share with other people, the more prideful I become in my work and confident that I am able to continue to produce and create in the way that I want to. It's almost like when you're a little kid and your parent or guardian kind of like puts your drawing up on the refrigerator and that kind of motivates you to draw more. That's pretty much how it is for me. Finally, the third question, why I am proud of my creativity. The only word that I can really think of to describe this question is the word soul. I'm proud of my creativity because I pour my soul into everything that I do, especially when I'm trying to be creative. I feel like every time I make a drawing or write a story or create something with my hands, I put a part of myself into everything that I do and everything that I make. And if that's not the word soul, I don't know what is. Yes, I'm sitting on the floor. It's comfy. It's floor time. All my life, I've been drawn to be artistic and creative in every and any way imaginable. I used to play the tuba and the flute. I'm currently trying to relearn the flute. I used to write all the time. I had my own multi book saga that I was writing in middle and high school. I recently even got to make embroidery and learn how to do that within the past 3 years, and that's been really fun. In fact, I'm working on a tote bag right now, but I haven't picked it up in several months because I've just been so burnt out. If you can't tell, it's snake surrounded by lavender. I'm still working on. I used to make candles. We don't talk about that era at all, actually. Um, and even more recently, I've picked up learning how to draw and do pixel art and even create with my hands using air dry clay. I guess you could say that I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none, but that's okay. So today, I'm doing a little exercise and I'm going to roll a d4, and I'm going to let the dice decide what creative outlet I do for at least an hour today. I'm going to set a timer, and I cannot scroll on my phone for that entire hour. I have to dedicate that time to my hobby or my creative outlet. I feel like my phone distracts me from my creativity a lot, because I just get distracted, and then I start doom scrolling, and then I see how everyone's being so creative and putting out um, awesome content, and I feel like inferior. I get an imposter syndrome from that. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna let that hour be for myself and my creative outlet. I feel like when I do get sucked into my phone, I start thinking about the content that I make and if that content is actually worthy of being put up. Because if I'm not making content that people like, then why am I doing it? And that's a horrible mindset to have. So that's why we're doing this whole thing, is so I can try and change that mindset. So we got a 2 on the die, which means I'm going to be working on my embroidery that I've been putting off for months. I'm actually kind of excited because I haven't embroidered in a long time, and I'm really excited to get back into this tote bag. It's almost done. I just need to finish like this bottom part of the snake with all the stars and a little bit more lavender. And then it's done. And I can say I finished a very long, long tote bag. So let's get into it. My burnout doesn't come from getting bored of what I'm doing. It comes from stress. Mostly stress about money and my health, which perpetuates the cycle of stress because when I start thinking about money or my health, I start spiraling and cannot stop thinking about it for the life of me. When I get stressed, I just want to lay in bed and doom scroll, which makes it even worse. Thus, forcing myself out of a rut by engaging with my creative outlets helps a lot. Sometimes I can't do it on my own though, so I really appreciate the kind words and encouragement from my partner, friends, and family. When I get like this, it's like my soul is aching to create, but I'm so bogged down by what is happening around me and my anxiety surrounding my problems that I simply can't do it. Hi, it's been about 3 hours since I finished the tote bag. I made lunch and said goodbye to my partner who was off to work and played a couple of video games. So I kind of forgot to do the reveal, which you'll be seeing right now. But either way, I'm very happy with how it came out, and I think this exercise was really good. Isn't it so pretty? I'm so happy. It looks so good. Was a success. Growing up in the era of Game Boys, early 2000s, 2010 club music, and early internet, I didn't really start getting sucked into making it big on the internet until college, right before the height of COVID and when short term video content was super popular. I always wanted to create content to share my creativity, my pride with those around me. I'm starting to learn how to make content that's not perfect and that has flaws, and I have to be comfortable with myself before I can completely do that. So, I'm embracing inexactness. Inexactness is the opposite of perfection. It's flawed and not precise. I am not the perfect image of a person, and neither are you. Our flaws are what make us who we are. We should show our flaws when creating content because behind the screens, behind the mask of perfection that we show online, people are craving real connection, real life, real feelings, and real flaws. Moving forward with my creativity, I want to set aside parts of my week to dedicate to one, if not multiple, types of my hobbies. I can't realistically dedicate an hour of every day to each one of my hobbies, and it's really not realistic to do anyways. I want to learn to be curious about creating again. I want to rekindle that fire I had as a kid and as a teenager. Uh,
that was craving for this creativity. And I think that starts with me mindfully engaging in my hobbies again. Instead of doing them for likes and chasing an impossible algorithm, I want to create for me again. Thanks for watching, and I hope you find that fire of creativity in you too. Signed, Hoop